Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am SidAlpha, and I'll apologize again for the less than optimal sound quality here. I'm still in the hotel room, obviously. We've got a few more nights left here. I don't go home until Saturday. But this is another installment in What Did I GDC Today? And this is for Wednesday. Tuesday, yesterday, I ended up sequestering myself in the hotel room for the majority of the day because I wasn't feeling all that hot. Combination of a bunch of different things, but I'm better now. Mostly, I'm about 98% recovered from all of these sicknesses and everything that has been afflicting me over the past couple of weeks. Last night, went to dinner with Tarmack, a fellow YouTuber, fantastic guy. I was really thankful to be able to meet him face to face, and saw him again today. Reason for that is we're going to go through quickly what I saw and learned at the GDC today. Mostly, all of the booths and everything were opened up today, so I went around and started investigating a bunch of new games, talking to developers, getting onto lists for review code and things of that nature because I really want to hit reviewing games. I really want to get hit that hard and heavy again this year. I want to really get back into that. In addition to all of the news reporting and everything like that, I at least want to be able to dedicate 1, maybe 2 days a week to video reviews, to doing game reviews, because just talking about the game industry is all well and good. That's great. Getting the information out there and letting you guys know what my take on it is, that's shown to be of a tremendous amount of value to a lot of people. But uh, I really want to be able to introduce new games to you guys, and that's something that has been sorely lacking on my channel for the past few months, and I'm trying to get back into that. So I spent several hours going around different booths talking to different developers. Steam was here. Valve was here. They had a room that was like way back in the corner. Nobody saw. Nobody there really wanted to talk to me, which that's okay. Reason Mostly the reason for that is because they had, I'm sure, meetings solid booked through with people, and I didn't make the list. Go figure. Uh, so I don't know. I'll keep on knocking on that door and see what happens. A couple of interesting games that I did try that I'll um, probably will hopefully get a review out as soon as, if not before the game is released. Is today I did get a chance to play Far Cry 5, the new Far Cry 5. Is it 5? Yeah, the whole Heaven's Gate, or whatever they're calling the cultists in the Midwest. That's definitely a Far Cry game. It's very much Far Cry game. It's still got that extreme open world to it, and the graphics are great ish. From what I saw, there was still a fair amount of pop in, and there was a little bit of polish that needs to be done there, which is interesting because the game actually releases in a week. Actually, I think it's a week from today or a week from tomorrow, or even less, actually. I think it's the 26th that it comes out. So I talked to them. I don't think I'll be getting a review code for that, but I'll still pick up the game anyways. I don't know if I'll do any kind of review on it, but hopefully I might be able to get some form of impression out or something like that. I also tried Tantras Rumble, which is an interesting MOBA game that was falling along the lines of that mashup that you see a lot of MOBA game developers trying to make, where they were combining collectible card games and a third-person MOBA action adventure game. And so this one, it's still in development. It's still in open development, and so they're still working on it. Thank God, because there are a lot of things missing from the game. There are a lot of animations missing from the game, and it just felt a little wonky and very incomplete. So hopefully I'll be able to get a chance to take a closer look at that when it's in a more feature complete state. It was interesting enough. I can see a lot of pitfalls, a lot of downfalls, but a lot of positives there too. So that one definitely stuck out in my mind as one that is very rough right now, but it shows a lot of promise. And I did catch a couple of conferences. Got the. I don't know if you guys can hear. There's been a lot of sirens. Yeah, there's been a lot of fire sirens today and yesterday. More so today. Really interesting. So you guys can probably hear that on the microphone. My apologies. Yeah, don't know if you can hear that or not. Hopefully not. Uh, but I did go to Epic Games and their State of Unreal, which was actually kind of a treat. I caught most of that. I had to leave a few minutes early, but that was actually a real treat because what they did there to start it off was to show what they're capable of doing with the Unreal Engine. They had a full 3D rendering of Andy Serkis, and Andy Serkis was reciting Shakespeare, very emphatic and very over the top and everything. Out, I say, and that was really amazing. Just sitting there listening to Andy Serkis spout Shakespeare via CG. That was really great. And they just underscored extremely well just what a beautiful engine Unreal is capable of being, especially with the facial rendering and everything like that they're bringing to the table. It is so good, so good. I am the state of Unreal is unreal. Ha ha. I know, right? Um, really great talk. It was a lot of nuts and bolts stuff on how they go through the hair animations and everything like that, or the hair rendering and the facial rendering and the motion capture and all that, and what they're doing there. Um, and it's some really fantastic stuff. It's moving away from the traditional, what we know of as the traditional motion capture, and so it will allow for a lot more granular, a lot more fine tuning of the minor inflections, facial inflections, and everything that you get from an actor, which is absolutely fantastic. And they can do a lot with it, and I'm really looking forward to things. They also talked a lot about Fortnite, of course, but nothing new there. It was more like how they did certain animations within Fortnite and stuff like that. And then immediately after I left there, we went to the big one, which was the Censorship Roundtable. Yes, which that was not as terrible as I thought it was going to be, mostly because I was not alone. Oh no, Tarmack was there sitting right next to me, to my right. Fantastic YouTuber. If you haven't checked out his channel yet, you definitely should. He is amazing. And yeah, me and him were there, and there were a bunch of developers there. Um, there was also some reporters there, one from The Verge. Kyle Orland from Ars Technica was there. There was a representative from BioWare there, and a bunch of other people that were representing larger entities in the industry. And so I thought for a moment that I was going to be a little bit out of my depth, but as it turns out, my intellectual superiority shines through. I know I'm an arrogant son of a bitch, but it's true. I'm a smart, arrogant son of a bitch, and so is Tarmac. And together with the other people in the room that were there to combat the idea of loot boxes, it didn't. I don't think it turned quite into an echo chamber like they really wanted it to be. It was This was not to talk about how loot boxes were censorship, but at least that's not how they tried to present it. They tried to present it as, is loot box regulation censorship? Like, question mark there. Which, of course, it's presented in a way for people to be able to say, yes, it's censorship. And there were a lot of developers in that room that said that, yes, it was censorship, that regulating or legislating loot boxes is censorship. It is censorship of their creative rights and their creative freedoms. And I will be having a much longer video talking about that this weekend once I have better sound quality and I can have visuals to be able to go along with it as opposed to just a mook sitting in a chair. But there was it was one of those things where nothing got accomplished in that entire room. I mean, there were a few different topics we talked about. We talked about the WHO organization classifying video game addiction, which nothing really got accomplished there. We talked a lot about video games violence in the industry, which basically everyone in the room agreed on that video games promoting violence is absolute bullshit. Um, the WHO, I didn't weigh in too heavily on. My main thoughts there were, yes, in some small percentages of people, video game addiction is a thing. but they were wanting to figure out a way to try and keep the WHO from doing that because they felt that it could open up the door to broader things with broader terms and more legislation and censorship on the games industry as a result of that, not because of that. It, you know, and there were a couple other people in the room that were very outspoken against a lot of the same stuff that I was. Ray Michelle Richards, which thankfully she came up and introduced themselves to me after the meeting with. They're over at brokenjoysticks.net, Broken Joysticks Media. They gave me a card. Fantastic meeting some people there. And we all went around the room and introduced ourselves. And I felt eyes churn when I said, yeah, Sid Redfield, I'm running a YouTube channel, SidAlpha. And as soon as everyone heard SidAlpha, there were probably about close to 2 dozen people in the room. Probably about a third of them, their heads, I felt their heads churn. Like, yeah, I'm that one. That's me. I'm the thorn in your side. I am the piss in your Cheerios. Oh yes, yeah. Kyle, like I said, Kyle Orland was there as well, which he seemed cordial enough. I didn't get a chance to say hi to him while we were at the meeting. I I didn't because I wasn't sure how well that would be received because he did do that article on the Alex Bauer situation that was very bereft of information, and I had lambasted the hell out of him for it on YouTube videos and on Twitter. And but yeah, I said, oh, I didn't get a chance to say hi to him on Twitter, and he responded back with hi. So I think we're probably okay there. I'm fine with letting it be water under the bridge if he is. And but it's also a good thing during that meeting because there was a young college student that was sitting right to my left, and I said, yeah, I'm Sid Alpha. And he just turned and it was great. There were actually a couple of people that were fans of mine in the room, and that was great. That was amazing. So I got to shake their hands and say hello and everything, and that was fantastic. I've never had a chance to meet a fan face to face before, so I think I was probably a little bit more put off and shy than I probably should have. But I was really thankful for them taking the time to come say hi to me because that was great. Because it's one thing when you're seeing positive feedback in Twitter, on a Facebook and Reddit, or on the comments of the YouTube video, people telling you that you're doing a great job and everything like that. It's an entirely different level when you're seeing a person tell you that face to face. It really is because it just drives it home so much more. And when you can put a face to a viewer and be able to say hello to them and shake their hand and thank them, and that's that's absolutely amazing to me, and I love that. And seeing the faces like, you are why I'm doing this. You know, this is that kind of stokes the fires back up a little bit. It's like it gives me a reason for continuing to battle on because from what I saw in that room, the loot box battle is just getting warmed up. Oh my God. Of course, the guy from BioWare thought that legislating loot boxes, of course, is absolutely censorship because AAA. But there were a lot of indie developers there too, and my guess would be mobile game developers would be some of those. Um, but it was an interesting blend and mix in the room, and there was a young lady from China who was very vocal as well in the room, and she was very intelligent, very outspoken, and was able to offer a very unique perspective on China itself and how the families and the government view mental health and mental welfare and psychological health in China, and it was very fascinating and very troubling. I'm actually more glad that I don't live in that country because of stuff like that, because there is a huge stigma in that country regarding video games and regarding, video game addiction is probably more prevalent in China than anywhere else, mostly because they have a lot more people. So obviously the percentage is going to be higher. Um, but they also have people playing in PC bongs and everything like that in China and Japan and South and North Korea, where people are playing in PC bongs for they're grinding for gold, as it were. They're video game gold miners. That's been a thing for a long time since World of Warcraft came out. That was when that really kicked off prevalence, and so because of that, people playing video games for 18, 20 hours a day just to make a living. Yeah, I could definitely see video game addiction also slowly becoming a part of that as well. And their stigmas regarding mental health and seeking out help in that regard. It's a very dangerous combination. Tencent is here. I saw they have a booth. I'm going to be swinging by tomorrow to see if I can speak with them a little bit because Tencent has kind of exploded onto the scene. They're like China's Microsoft. They're that large. I mean, they're equivalent size to Microsoft. They're that big. They've got their hands in everything. They are a multi. They're like a, Fortune 500 size company easily, and they've got their hands in everything, and they've been making a huge push towards gaming. So I'm going to go talk to some of their reps tomorrow, see if I can at least. They're probably booked up pretty tight as well. But it'll be interesting to pick their brains a little bit and see if I can make some contacts there. Also, if there are any games that you guys want me to try and check out while I'm there, I know the developers of Rebel Galaxy are here. I want to try and swing by and talk to them about their new game. Um, and there are a few other games here that I want to try and check out. There's so much though. GDC is so damn large, and today was the first day where they had everything going. So there's not going to be enough time to check out everything I wanted to. I actually the GDC awards are going on right now. I chose to skip those so I could come home and get some food because I hadn't eaten anything yet today, and I wanted to have a chance to make a video for you guys. So I came home, grabbed some food, kind of dozed for a few minutes, and then I'm sitting here recording this. So, so yeah, so that is basically what I GDC'd today. So thank you guys so much for watching. I've been talking again for way too long. I will be, like I said, I will be talking a lot more in depth about the censorship in gaming conference. I spoke up quite a bit during that roundtable, all through it, and I know there were some reporters taking notes, so I hope they remember to cite me properly. But if they don't, that's okay too. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I promise we will get back to regular content as soon as I get home, which will be on set. Well, it won't be on Saturday because I get home on Saturday. I have to pick up my daughter, and then we have our Stars Without Numbers stream Saturday night, and tomorrow night I will actually be here in my hotel room while we're doing BattleTech. We're going to be Radosaurus is actually out. He is serving and protecting our country. So we are going to be doing a BattleTech one shot in place where we're kind of be doing the alternate evil universe selves, battling it out on Solaris. So it should be a very interesting time. So please do come check that out. So I will be live tomorrow night over AP Gaming Rails channel. I don't think I'll have a chance to put out an announcement video, but I'll put out an announcement comment on my YouTube channel and on Twitter and everything like that. But that's at 5 p.m. Eastern, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And I'm going to stop talking now because we're coming up on 20 minutes. So thank you guys so much for listening to me to ramble, and I really do appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.